just launched with our website now, thesuccessseries.com. If you want to be a guest on the show, want to join the community, or just want to check us out, go on the site, add your information there. Awesome, guys. Thanks for tuning in. All right, bro. Cheers.
Cheers.
To it.
A water.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Success Series. Today we're actually at the Maze Lounge in downtown Miami, thanks to Billy. Come here every night of the week. Always a good time. Our guest of today is Ziggy. He is an artist that's selling out shows without Spotify. We'll go into his story. We'll learn about his spiritual journey, his path to success, and as an up-and-coming artist. Ziggy, stage is yours. If you can give us a little background on what you do, who you are, and we'll take it from there.
Well, I mean, I'm just a guy chasing his dreams and making a way, regardless of whatever anyone else has ever told me. I'm just going for it. God gave me a vision. That's all I needed. Moving, taking every step with, ultimate faith, and it's just been working out, man.
Yeah.
And it actually was funny. It's like you said, selling out dates without Spotify. I think that's the greatest thing, because a big part of my mission here is to bring back the class to music, but also to making it about music itself. I'm really tired of always hearing like people are in a stream begging war, especially as an independent artist. But even at the higher levels, it's about the music sort of, but it seems like it's more about clout, or it's more about, what can I do that's gonna get attention and views? Am I gonna start some negative shit so people can tune into that and talk crazy about another artist? Am I going to put say the most outlandish, outrageous thing, as a woman, because that's going to make headlines? It's not really about, I think the golden age of music was in the James Brown, the Elvis days, Michael Jackson too. I want to bring that back. So the reason, and I'm talking about the faith, and everything about it, because I started this part of the journey about 4 months ago. I had lost everything. A year ago from now, I invested a bunch of money into some Forex stuff with a brokerage. All my money was gone, locked up. And at the same time, I'd also lost the job that I was doing because I had a company we were doing, I got into entertainment, film and music, so I was doing that. And that whole situation went to hell too. So I found myself just falling deeper and deeper into the hole. And my music, I was already making music. I had some fans and shit. But my music, I was using DistroKid. And DistroKid was constantly sending me a reminder saying, we're going to take all your music off if you don't pay your bill. And it was only $20-something or something.
Right.
But I couldn't even afford it. And so basically, it took all my music off, and I couldn't afford to get it back. I couldn't even make $20, because I wasn't going to go get a job. Right. Honestly. And everything I was working towards seemed to just fall through the cracks. So I just got on my hands and knees, and I prayed. I was writing in my notebook too, a journal. I had to just figure something out. So I had to go back to the core. Anytime you find yourself going through some shit and it seems real foggy and cloudy, you got to separate yourself and you got to get back to the core. However you do that, you can do that with meditation. You can do it with the exercise that I did, which is I was scripting my life out in situations as if it's already happened, but I was talking about the moments in life that would just make me peak. What does my life look like? So I was doing that, and it was just me locked in a room doing that, and then I prayed. I said, God, thank you for clarity. I didn't have any clarity, but I was just like, God, I don't know what to do anymore. Please show me the way, but thank you for doing it. Thank you for clarity. And so what I did, what happens next was I kind of just, it just kind of clicked, and I heard a little voice in my head in that moment that said, use the gifts that I gave you. Because I was chasing money. I was chasing white elephants, chasing big deals, trying to close jet fuel deals, trying to close all these crazy deals so I could make that nest egg back. Chasing. Not even attracting, just chasing. And all those things were just falling flat on, just breaking up right in my face. Right. Every deal, everything that I would try would always just fall through. And I'm just like, what am I doing wrong? So I also had a heartbreak at that time too. So it was all just downhill, going down. So then God brought me to my knees. And when I heard the voice, use the gifts that I gave you, I started singing. I started to like do these little videos of singing, and they started to get a little bit of traction, like barely anything, but people were just like, oh, like, yo, that's amazing. And so I heard another voice say, do a show. And I had a lot of people telling me like, bro, you're not gonna be able to do a show. Like, you have no music out. All your music is gone. People were calling me, yo, where's your music at? What happened? I can't post it on Instagram or anything.
What were you saying?
I just was just like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just low key right now. I just kind of disappeared. I even deleted social media for a while. Just disappeared.
Yeah.
I had a big deal that I was working on too, also fell through. And I came out on social media saying that I just signed the deal too. So like $1 million deal. Even that fell through. So I was embarrassed. I was like, it was all kinds of stuff. So to bring it back, I basically decided I'm gonna, cause I know that voice was from God that told me.
How do you know that? How can you feel that it was?
Because when I prayed, like, you'll know, you know what I'm saying? When I prayed and I thanked him for clarity, I was like, what do I do next? I started to feel clear. You know, it was like a little journey. I started to like, but it felt like it really came from within, and I had nothing else to do. And it's like, you could pray and meditate and like visualize for all these big things you want, but be careful, because God's gonna bring you through all that stuff that's going to really shape you so you really get it. Because, you know, everybody else is like doing shit for glory, you know, for instant gratification.
Right.
That's not how God works. If you want it, if you say, I want to be a millionaire, he's going to really give it to you for real. So he's going to put you in situations to teach you what it takes, how to value $1.
Right.
So he's going to take it away from you. Put you in situations where you can learn, where you can, you know. And so that's what he did to me, was he just stripped me of everything so I could appreciate even building something brick by brick. Even having a brick and putting it there, like, oh, I laid a brick down. Having that motion, I had to lose it all for me to even appreciate just a little bit of motion. And then,
right,
you know, that's when everything started to become clear. So it was like a little step by step. But ultimately, when I heard that voice say, do a show and use the gifts that I gave you, I ran with it. And that was the first thing that ever worked out in the scope of like 8 months. So I did a show at P&O. I didn't sell it out, but it was like 150 people came to my first show. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
And I had no music anywhere. So that's another, you know, testament to it. And again, I'm not religious. I did grow up in a Christian church, but I'm not religious. But I am spiritual. You know. So for some people it could be Allah,
right,
it could be God, it could be the universe, it could be I don't think that infinite source cares what you call it. It's just you need to know that it's there and you need to work with it. I was telling him, it's we are gods, but it's lowercase g. We're nothing without that infinite source. That is the capital G, you know, or Allah, or whatever you want to call that source. That infinite source energy, we have a piece of that inside of us. Even in the Bible, it talks about how God created us in his own image. We're creators, just like that. We can speak things into existence. We may have to do some work and tap in and clear the fog and clear the weird stuff around us, but we have that same power.
Right.
So, saying all that to say, without faith, like, God's going to give you a vision. I don't know who needs to hear this, but it's going to get tough. But if you have a vision and you know it came from God and you feel it, you know it comes from God because it feels like a burning desire. It feels like it makes you peak. The thought of you achieving it makes you peak. That's how I knew it was from God. I was like, yes, that's what I always want to do.
Right.
Use my gifts. That's what I always wanted to do. And everything else is not working out. And he did that on purpose. I'm going to chase this money deal, chase that deal. He's like, no, use the gifts I gave you. This is what you asked for. Do it. Have faith it's going to work out. No music on Spotify. Everyone around me telling me I'm crazy, telling me there's no way in hell I'm going to do it. I said, watch me. And I had faith in that. I just took those steps. And it's been working out ever since. We just sold out, I think there was like 350 people or so.
Really?
Because it was constant movement all night. And there was a line at the door. Like, we're over capacity. It was actually here.
Oh, was that the Maze Lounge?
Yeah. So shout out to Billy. For taking a chance on me on that.
Yeah.
You know, it's been working out ever since. We're just constantly growing and growing. And I think it's just a testament of just like, you got a vision, bro. Just
run with it.
Just run with it with faith, you know?
A lot of people are in depression, right? Just in general, most people go through it at some point. When you're in that depression, how do you even get from saying I'm on the couch, I'm in bed, to even going to writing in your case, or even just taking any sort of action?
I think you have to hit your own personal rock bottom. And someone's gonna have to, like, it was just so much shit happening, and it's just like none of it was my personal rock bottom. I lost all the money.
Right.
Okay, it was like shitty, but I grew up without money, so it's like, okay, I'm trying to work something out, whatever. People start turning their back on me. A lot of embarrassment happening. I lost my home, lost my car, everything just, I literally, some of the
one thing, and this was like all
one thing after the other. My girlfriend, everything just started to get stripped of me, and then I got in a small relationship with this girl who broke my heart. I wrote a song about it.
What's it called?
I wrote 2 songs called Black Rose, and the other one's called The Night.
Okay, we can't hear it anywhere, right? Because it's not on.
No, you can come to a show though.
Right.
For now.
Yeah.
For me, it was my own personal rock bottom, and once you hit that, and even if you don't hit the rock bottom, I do encourage anyone to just go lock yourself into the room, because at the end of the day, we're just foggy. That's where the depression is coming from. Is because it's like your life does not look like what you feel it should look like.
Right.
And so then it's foggy minded, because you might be hearing this person over here talk about, you know, how your life's supposed to look, or they're living their life up, and you're like, damn it, there's this piece of that I want. You might be hearing, you know, on social media, seeing some other shit that's making you like, oh my God, it's just fogginess, it's just cloudiness. So you need to go center yourself by going alone. And for me, and I recommend this to anyone, I don't know who needs to hear it, but you need to go separate yourself. Go in a room somewhere, get a pen and paper. There's nothing, the power of writing some shit down is extremely powerful. Take that notebook, take that pen, and write it down. Write down, and it's just between you and the paper. Don't be embarrassed. Dream big, and just write it down. Write down what your life is going to look like, as if it's already happened. You know? Those moments that just make you peak. Maybe it's like, man, I'm a billionaire. I'm a billionaire, and I'm the one that created generational wealth for me and my family. I'm the one. Everyone's looking at me like, we love you, thank you.
Right.
Big ass picture in the family manner. Write it down, whatever it is.
Get crazy with it.
Get crazy with it. It's just between you and the paper, and watch how God moves. Watch how that shit works.
You touched on your family life earlier. You said you grew up not with a lot of money. How did you have these big dreams in spite of that? Right. A lot of people can blame their family or their childhood or the place they grew up in. How did you get past that?
Man, I honestly think I was always blessed to have a positive mindset, because I always knew, like, it didn't matter where I was coming from, it mattered where I was going. So my mom, she's the strongest woman I know. She was addicted to a lot of drugs at the time, and she had 2 miscarriages.
Wow.
Second miscarriage a week before getting pregnant with me. She was a prostitute, and she was shooting up heroin at the time. Yeah, shit's crazy. So I like to think that I came into the world fighting, because she said when she got pregnant with me, the heroin she was shooting up, it just made her violently ill, and she would throw up. So she said that I saved her life.
Wow.
Because I think I was in that motherfucker fighting, regardless. Wow. So I've always been a fighter, bro. I was like, one thing about me, all the shit that I've been through up to this point, one thing I learned is that I will not quit. I won't quit, no matter what. I'm grateful for that. And I think the one thing that would always keep me going, I got that vision. You know, and like you have to be delusional. Like, look at Kanye, look at all these people. The proof is already there. I don't know why more people just don't go for it. Like, that vision, it doesn't matter what your fucking parents say. It doesn't matter what grandma, they grew up in a different time. It doesn't matter what your homies are saying. They're not going to get the vision, but the vision is all you need. And you got to believe in it. That's been the thing that's been pushing me and leading me along, and seeing that. I've always had that vision, and it always just made me fire up. And I think that I lost all that monetary stuff because I was on the wrong path. I wasn't on the path to that vision. I was chasing somebody else's dream. I was building something for them, working for somebody else. Even though I love that person, I was working for somebody else basically the whole time. And removed me from everything just to put me on this path to build it myself, by myself, with the people that believe in what I'm doing. And also, I think a big part of this is by you chasing your own dream, you don't know how many people you're inspiring. So if you don't chase that dream, you don't know how many people you might be letting down, how many lives you might be sacrificing because you're not chasing your dream.
Right.
So through this journey right now, me chasing my dream, I'm helping other people on the way up. Someone's going to say about me one of these days that man was a force of nature. And not only did he make it happen, he brought a bunch of people up with him. So all that shit keeps me going.
Love that. And then so for you as music, right? I get that part. You got all the way to where you are today in spite of just being resilient. You're like, I'm just going to push through. Music, what if you don't have your passion? What if you don't know what you want to do? where do you turn there, you know?
I honestly think if you don't know what you want to do, I think, again, you're just foggy. God gave you a gift. You just got to figure out what that is. And at the end of the day, go get that pen, go get that paper, and go and write down those moments in life that make you peak, the things that will make you peak. Go write them down, because we've all got them. That's going to lead you to what your gift is. We all got something that's going to make us excited. For some people, it's just having a family.
Right.
You know, for some people, it's, you know, being on stage speaking about something. For some people, it's sharing that stage with somebody great. I had somebody that's on my team. He told me when I first linked in with him, he was like, dude, a lot of people tell me that I need to be the CEO of this, that, and the third, but honestly, my big vision, my big dream, the thing that makes me excited is to be able to assist someone, be the right hand to another Steve Jobs.
Really?
That's his thing.
Interesting. Yeah.
Everyone has their thing, and it's all a part of a grander scheme.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, whatever the vision is that makes you peak, that makes you like, oh, wow, you're going to find it. And you got to just go put it, it's got to be between you and that paper and God.
Right.
Because you go tell somebody else about it, they're going to make you feel some other type of way about it. You can't afford that.
The worst thing you can do is live somebody else's story or somebody else's dream.
Yours.
And you spoke about spirituality and the difference between that and religion.
Yeah.
Well, people that aren't connecting to any sort of source, aside from writing, aside from meditating, what are some other things that you do that you'd suggest to them to just get started with?
I'd say whatever it is for you, you tap in with your source energy. Like, the source energy is there. For some people, they will go in and meditate. For some people, they're going to go and pray. At the end of the day, I read this book. I forgot what it was called. But there was a man who went and studied all these different religions, these different, he studied like Christianity, Catholicism, and then he went and spent time with people in the occult. He went and spent time with people in like Buddhism and Taoism and all these different things. And he said the one single golden thread of magic that threads all those things together, he could boil it down to one word. And that word was belief. Faith. That's the magic energy right there. And if you just have belief in, like, if you can use that energy to tap in, and it can be prayer, it can be meditation, but center yourself. People just go to the beach and you just speak out, and something will come, something will happen. Like, if you're like, God, Allah, something's gonna happen. And,
doesn't matter what you call it. That's a huge point, right?
It doesn't matter, man. It's just that source energy. We all need some spirituality. We're spiritual beings having a human experience, not the other way around. And so I think a lot of people that are like atheists and stuff like that, I don't judge anyone. I think if you're happy, you go do that shit, man. But sometimes they might be missing out. If they're atheists, maybe they think that they don't believe in a higher power, but they do laugh, and they can walk into a room and feel differently. Right. That's all energy, you know?
They just don't call it God, but they're still...
It's all there. There's a presence there. There's an energy there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's important for anybody to just go explore it. Go, you know? So to answer your question, I don't think there is an answer. I think you just go find out what works for you. And you only get that through trial and error. Like, some people, I do a lot of meditation. Yeah. But I think the best thing for me, what that does for me, helps me visualize, helps me get a little centered, but ultimately, it helps me rewire my brain. In order to be something that I've never been before, I have to become someone I've never been. In order to go do something I've never done, I got to become someone I've never been. So I use that tool to rewire my brain, you know, by like visualizing a version of me that's doing X, Y, and Z, embodying that, going to these alpha states, going to these states of mind, all that meditation, and speaking certain affirmations over myself, and then like tapping into that subconscious to rewire your brain. So then what you're interested in now is different. Like, you can ask my girl, the girls I hang around, like people that I spend a lot of time around, all I want to do is win. So all I'm doing in the morning, I'm going hard. But I wasn't always like that. Right. I had to rewire my brain to get like that. Is win. So all I'm doing in the morning, I'm going hard. But I wasn't always like that. Right. I had to rewire my brain to get like that.
How long does it take when you're in that to get to that state? You start meditating. Is it 5 minutes? Is it an hour?
I mean, you get better and better at it. When I first started, it was just so foggy. A thought would come, and I would get distracted, and I would get mad at myself. And then I'd be like, why am I not being able? My back's hurting. It's like I took this thing called the Silver Method.
Okay.
It was on this platform called Mind Valley, and it taught me that getting to the alpha stage, like you can lay down, you just be comfortable, and it's okay. Like it's about being in flow. It's like it's okay if you think, you know, about an idea or something pops in your head, just let it flow by. You know, so at first, you know, it could take a little while, but I recommend the Silver Method. It'll teach you how to go to these alpha states in the 3 levels. Now I can do it in like 2 minutes. I could do it immediately. Honestly.
Really, right now you can just be sitting here.
I could do it, yeah. Yeah. I could actually go there. It'd probably take me like 30 seconds. I go in, I just like really breathe in and I just breathe out. And every time I breathe out, I relax a little bit more. The third, like I go 3, 2, 1. The 3 is I envision 3, 3, 3, and you know, I'm programming my mind to do these things. You know, 3, 3, 3, and then I basically breathing to relax my body. That 3, 3, 3 is an indicator to my muscles and my physical is just relaxed. I say it in my mind. 2, 2, 2, the level 2 is I relax my whole mind. And so then there's like this blissful state that kind of feels good when I relax my mind. It's just because it's like my brain is a muscle too, and my mind is a muscle, and I'm just relaxing it.
Right.
And then 1, 1, 1 is I go to that center state, and I just like, and just kind of like, it
you're
feels
enveloped
like you're
in like this cocoon.
in this like cocoon. Yeah. And then you can go deeper and deeper and deeper, and then you say it, you know, whichever state you want to go into. I want to go into a theta state. So you're now in a theta state. You're going deeper and deeper and deeper, and before you know it, it just feels like you're like, I don't know, like it feels like a blissful, you're just in the state. But in that moment, use it wisely because your subconscious mind is there. So
that's when you inject the thoughts. That's when you get the clarity. That's when
you inject what you want.
Right.
You know, and that shit really works, man.
Yeah.
It really works.
That's awesome. And then, so when you look at your career and where you want to go, you said you write some things down. What are some of the crazy aspirations you have that maybe you don't really talk about much,
That's
but
cool.
you ask for it? Yeah.
So I actually would like to say something about that. Like I saw something recently about how like, it's true. Everything's balanced. I feel like everything's yin and yang. There's nothing black and white. And there's a time when you need to keep your goals to yourself. And then there's another time where you need to go ahead and put it out there into the world. Right. When you got enough confidence to be, I don't give a damn what you tell me. I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. I think that's when you share it. Because then other people catch on to it too. And it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, you become stronger with it. And then it's a movement. And then it's like 2 minds are better than 1. 3 minds are even better. And the more minds that are injected into the belief that you are the next global pop star. Yeah, or whatever it is. Right. So for me, few things. The crazy one?
As crazy as you can get with it. Why not?
It's a crazy one to, and I guess it'll kind of wrap, like, bring it all to kind of tell you what the other affirmations are. It's okay. Things I always write down is like, I'm so grateful. Brass Bacon is the name of my organization. Okay. It's a new age label. Because I'm the only artist signed to it right now, and I will be, because we don't focus on taking from artists. We don't own any of the artist masters. Ziggy Zeigler owns all my masters. Brass Bacon doesn't. Brass Bacon is a platform that's for profit sharing, and it's events. It's focused on building a community and strengthening the community by incentivizing that community to make money with and off the artist, to create a stronger ecosystem of support. And a subscription is where Brass Bacon will make his money. So one of the biggest ones, one of my big, hairy, audacious goals is that I am so happy and grateful that Brass Bacon has become an organization, a multi-billion-dollar organization that has changed the lives of over 1 billion people in a positive way, both spiritually and financially. So one of the things I always say with my events, me and my team and my band, we always do a prayer, and we always pray to, and we thank God that people that come to our event, to this event, and we're thankful that they're leaving a little bit better than they came. However that might be. They might have met someone, the music itself might have felt them, they might have felt me talking on stage, because I like to talk too. I like to just be like, I just speak from the heart.
It's set, you'll say something.
It's set, yeah. I'll just talk about whatever comes to mind to just give them something, you know. So, yeah, that's my really, really big one. And this platform is really going to help me do that. All the events I'm doing, it's all leading up to that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm doing it to sell out. The music shit is it's really just marketing, man.
Really? So you see the music as a funnel into this bigger vision.
It's a stepping stone.
It's awesome. I think that's what Spotify that's what they claimed to do initially, was give the power back to the artist.
Yeah.
It ended up being the opposite of that.
It ended up being the opposite of it.
Yeah.
And then it turned into a stream begging war.
Right.
I mean, I feel like you can always tell what something is from the seed. You can always tell what the seed was from the fruit that the tree bears, what kind of seed it was.
Right.
So people can tell you all about how this is whatever it is, but if their original intention was, to make a bunch of money, and that was it, or to create a bunch of power for themselves, the fruit that the tree bears will come out that way.
Right. What can you expect if it's obvious from the top?
Yeah. You can tell. And
right.
And there's a lot of people out here building things that are like, there's a huge light wave that's happening right now. There's a huge renaissance happening right now. And I'm going to be one of the people at the forefront of it. That renaissance, just like in the Michelangelo, Da Vinci days, there's a renaissance, an art renaissance. And there was a crunch time that happened before that, but that renaissance brings a lot of new innovations. So for now, I think the next multi-billionaires are going to be the individuals or the organizations that are building platforms for other people's financial freedom. Because in this new renaissance, it's going to be more about being able to create, being able to share, community, as opposed to the factory age that we've had, and even in the school systems, a lot of shit's outdated.
Right.
But it's all happening right before our very eyes.
Right.
I only want people to build one of those platforms, but my platform has to do with music, and I want to bring back what it really means to really be in music, to really make it about the music. Frank Sinatra, Elvis days, I'm super inspired by that way, because they were really up there putting on a show and experience.
Right.
Now it's just about who's topping the charts and what kind of crazy stunts can happen and who's with who and who's with. That's not really what the music is about. Maybe a small part of it, culture or whatever, but I want to really bring that element back.
Right.
Along with a whole bunch of other stuff. So that's why God took me away from Spotify, and why he took my money away, to just use the gifts I gave you. I think Pharrell said something. He was like, there's no such thing as the world's best kept secret. Because if you're truly talented, they will find you. So I'm using the gifts that God gave me, putting on a show, using my stage presence and the things that I have that he gave me to use to make a name for myself and to complete the mission that he gave me, which I'm super grateful for that mission.
Right.
That shit makes me peak. That's how I know it's for me. That makes me on fire to go do that.
Yeah.
I want to sell out a 1,000-person event.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to launch the beta version of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And we're going to use that to basically, and I have no problem sharing this stuff because I want somebody to feel inspired. I want somebody, God gave me the vision, can't nobody fucking take it away from me.
Exactly.
Because I'm the one to do it.
Yep.
They can't make it. They can make something. They're not going to make it the way that I'm going to make it.
Right.
Because it's an energy thing. Exactly. Honestly, it really is. I'm the one to come do this shit.
Yeah.
But we're going to use that moment to basically launch that platform. A very beta version of it, to take a test group, and we're going to use the following year, the whole year, to do a bunch of R&D to create the best experience, because in that event is also, in that subscription is also included events, like they get to come to all these special events, included in the subscription, other events that I'm a part of, that our organizations are partnered with, they're at least going to get a discount. There's a lot of other value that we're going to give them, as opposed to just access to some products and some things and some platforms to help them make bread. We are going to use that year to basically do a whole bunch of R&D with this test group, and then the following year, which I'm thinking at this event that we do, probably in 2025, or we'll do it at the end of this year, and then we'll do the big event I was just telling you about at the end of 2025, whatever God's putting out there. I'm going to do another big event. It'll be a step up, and I'm going to launch it for real at that event. I'm going to launch and then, be using this data to get investors involved and such. Right. If I don't have the money to do it all myself, but that's not a bad thing at all. Good debt is really awesome.
Yep.
And the more partnerships that I can accumulate on this route, if they're bringing resources and not just money, man, shit, let's go.
Exactly.
Elon Musk and them, I don't even think they own 10% of the company that they started.
Yeah.
And they're fucking multi-billionaires. That's the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire. So I'm open
to bring up people involved and give some of it away.
It becomes a lot bigger.
Right.
So you pick the right people to partner with, they're going to be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to bring something totally different to the table.
Right.
that you would have never had if I'm like, I just need all the equity. I need at least 51%.
They feel like they're part of it now. It's their thing too.
That's their thing too. And then and then this organization has some, and this organization has some. And they've all got their own power, their own motion too. Come together. Now we're making each other billions of dollars.
Completely.
Then you go public.
I love that. Last question we'll ask for you. Many people are probably sitting at home right now watching this when it launches. Maybe they're depressed. Maybe they have a music career and it hasn't picked up yet. And they're like, you know what, this just isn't for me. What's one piece of advice, now you're 28, you tell your 15, 16, 17-year-old self, if you could go back and say it?
Don't quit. Don't fucking quit. The only thing, and even Donald Trump says this, the one thing between you and your dreams is just you. Don't fucking quit. Don't let nobody tell you you can. Don't let anybody tell you that your dreams are too big. God gave you the vision, bro. There's one quote that I really live by. It really changed my life. It's in a book called Think and Grow Rich.
I love that book.
It's an amazing book. And it says, the desire is the evidence that the fulfillment of said desire is in the constitution of the creature that feels it. In other words, God would not give you that desire if you didn't have it all within your genetic makeup to actually make that desire fulfilled, to actually make it happen. So, don't fucking quit. Don't let anybody tell you you can't. The one thing holding us all back is our opinions of ourselves. So if you're going to go meditate, you're going to go write some stuff down, build that confidence that you can do this shit, because you can. Somebody made a plane fly before everyone was like, how the hell are we going to flying machines? You're insane. Somebody did it. The Wright brothers.
That's right.
Possibly they were the first. I don't know. But
Could have been somebody before.
Yeah, you never know these days. But yeah, don't quit.
Awesome.
Go get it done.
Ziggy, thanks for being on, brother. It was awesome.
Thank you, man.
I think a lot of people will gain some good insights from this. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
I hope so.
Awesome.
Awesome.